Hello.
Hold on, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. Okay, guys, this is the second part of our live. Our live. I'll just the second part of our slot one analysis for CAT 2019. Now, a couple of things. Slot two has probably all the people are inside in slot two, so we can do a more sort of a detailed analysis over there. There are some people who could not, like for example, Sahil was there in the first round as well. He could not join in completely over there. Ashish has joined in. He was probably getting ready over there. We have a couple of more people also who might join in later on. So, okay, let's look at a more detailed sort of an analysis over here. Both of you have taken CAT 2018 earlier?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, if you can tell me roughly what was your percentile in that?
Mine was around 98.
And Ashish?
Mine was around 75.
Okay, 75. Okay, so versus say last year's CAT, how did you find this year's CAT? Let's go with Ashish first.
VRC was very difficult, and both in the terms of option and the terms of the how the passage was, the language was very difficult, and the options were very close. VA was of moderate level,
Mm-hmm.
and VA was the most difficult part. I asked lots of people about it, and everyone gave me the same answer. Everyone attempt was around 20 to 25, not more than that. LRDI was exactly the same pattern and same difficulty. I think a little bit more easier than last year. And QA was also much more easier than last year. There were lots of arithmetic and algebra questions and
Mm-hmm.
straightforward geometry fundas to apply.
Okay. So we also have Satyajit here. He's also joined in. He took it from Jamshedpur, right, Satyajit?
My center was Bhubaneswar. I hate
Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are not able to see you.
Okay, hold on, just a
Yeah.
second.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So we are here now. Okay. So as I said earlier, this is a more detailed sort of a discussion on CAT. I mean, because now we have the luxury of, not rushing and taking our
Mhm.
parts.
Yeah,
Okay. Samarth is also
definitely.
joining in again. Uh, Samarth basically is in a party. Is Samarth, has your party started?
It's a compelling reason for a party. So
Hello.
Okay. Uh, Compelling reason for a party. Okay. So, I mean, when you guys were entering the hall, okay, how did you guys feel? Like, what exactly was your feeling over there?
when I entered the hall, I felt like I was boarding a flight. Like people were there with metal detectors and
Okay.
stuff. We were told to take out our bracelets. You're not even allowed to wear a jacket inside the hall,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty damn cold. It was like 7:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was the like if you've given enough marks, the feeling is pretty much the same. While entering the hall, it's like pretty general. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
not that.
Okay. What about okay? So when you guys saw the paper as such, okay, you guys would have definitely figured out, like, what was the first reaction when it came to English? Who will like to go first? Samarth, you want to start, because you might go for a party very soon.
What's the question?
I was checking, like, what happened when you looked at VARC the first time.
VARC. I think that passages were readable. One of the passages was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like I read the first paragraph and then I decided that I'm not going to attempt this.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think they were doable.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Was there
VS
any surprise? Because there was one student I spoke to. He said, like, this year's this year's CAT, there were a lot of critical reasoning sort of questions.
Yeah, there were critical reasoning actually.
There were.
Like application-based questions were a lot more than last year.
Mhm.
And compared to last year, it was difficult. VRC section.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if you guys can roughly tell me, like, based on your general mock scores, I will let one of you speak. I'll mute everyone. Okay, just hold on. I'll start with I'll start with I'll start with Sahil first. Okay, Sahil, what is your normal VA score, and then what is your how did you find this particular VA?
So, on an average, my mock scores were around in VA, it was around 55 to 70.
Okay.
And compared to that, I found the VRC section doable. There was no surprises for me, as a matter of fact. And I already told you there were 5 RC passages, and I found that compared to the last year, the length of the RC passages were little bit on the trickier side. And in addition to that, the first passage that we got was a bit complicated, as another student has also told that, and it was a bit verbose in
How
manner.
much do you normally score in VA, and how much did you score in this time? I mean, how much do you think you will score this time? If you can.
So I'm not judging. I'm for today. I've just
Okay, so how much do you normally score in mocks?
over total
VA.
VA around 55 to 70.
Raw score. And you thought this paper was tougher than your.
On the same, I would say on the same level. It was compared to the last year, it was a bit difficult,
Okay.
but easier among all the sections with respect to DILR and quant.
Okay. Let's see what Ashish, what do you say?
Um, my mock scores were like around 90 percentile of
Mhm.
VRC, and the scores are around 45 to 55 marks.
Okay.
And attempts are around 30 to 32, but this time I could attempt only 22 questions.
Okay.
And there was no pattern change. And
Mhm.
the first thing which I did was that to see if how many RC questions are there, and the the language of the RC were very difficult, and options were very tricky,
Okay.
and compared to the mocks as well. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay. What about you, Satyajit?
So I like to do the small bits first and then move on to the
Mhm.
bigger ones. So without looking at those passages, I straight jumped to the paragraph summaries. Those were
Mhm.
pretty simple, and the parajumbles were standard.
Mhm.
The sentence elimination was just like CAT 2018. It was simple, and then
Mhm.
RC, two of those paragraphs reminded me a little bit of GMAT. They were a little bit on the higher level. There was this, okay, we're not allowed to discuss questions, so I won't
I mean, don't discuss
go
the
into that.
exact question,
Yeah,
but yeah, you can tell the
yeah,
nature, like for
yeah.
example,
But
whether it's
yeah,
economics or.
yeah, there was a there was a paragraph on e-commerce. There was so the paragraphs. One thing which I found new this time was there were questions like, if the paragraph is given and then there are four hypothetical statements which are given, and then they'll say that which one of these ads would make the author least likely to agree with these statements, and there were questions like that. So that was a little bit trickier, but yeah, we can say that the RC was difficult than last year, but still doable. It was
Mhm.
pretty standard. Like if someone was given around 40 odd mocks in CAT, would easily be able to do 4 RC passages, and I think all of the verbal
Okay.
ability questions
Okay. So,
include.
did you give CAT last year?
Yeah, I did.
You do you think it was easier or tougher, trickier than
Uh,
last year's CAT?
the RC section, yeah, it was a tad bit tougher
Okay.
because the paragraphs were a little longer than last year.
Okay.
So
Okay. And finally, Samarth. Samarth is, I don't know. You are, he's not here. Okay, let's check with uh, okay, let's try with the LRDI section. Okay, we'll start with Satyajit this time again. How was your LRDI?
LRDI felt it was like pretty standard. Since CAT 2017, they have since CAT 2016, they have maintained a standard of LRDI, and which was continued
Mm-hmm.
this time too.
Okay.
Again, having practiced a lot of sets, four of those sets were directly picked up from your module. So
Thank
pretty
you.
thankful for that.
Okay.
So
It
one of
cannot be
those was
picked up, but it'll be similar. Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah,
yeah.
like it was quite similar. Like
Okay.
if you've done that, you'll definitely do this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that.
What can you guys broadly tell me? Like, I'll quickly go through this. Can you guys broadly tell me what type of questions were there in LRDI? Were there? I'll go through the entire range and tell me like if
Okay,
they're present. Okay. So, was there any question which was on averages or mixtures which had to be mixed? There are multiple
there was,
juices,
yeah, there was. There
etc.
was a question on mixtures. There
Okay.
was a question on mixtures.
Sahil, you will agree?
I'm not able to recall that.
Which one? I mean, any initial part which you can tell?
Boxes, prizes, boxes. Whatever.
Yeah,
The keyword.
yeah, but it didn't involve any concept. It was just puzzle based.
Just a logical reasoning puzzle,
Yeah.
which involved a
Entire
little bit
DI
concept of mixture. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sahil, you
entire
were saying?
DILR section was not about any. You have to add any formula. You don't have to apply any formula. It was just puzzle based. If you have solved it, if you have maintained your mindset, like you can solve puzzles.
When you mean puzzle, you mean maths based puzzle,
No, it was like puzzle. For example,
linear arrangement, like A comes before B, C
yeah,
comes after D.
this
Okay.
type of language was there, but I was talking to a definite set. When the paper will be out, I'll be able to justify it or explain it much better, and you will get to the first set first, like
Okay.
Yeah.
What about DI? What type of questions are there in DI?
There were
Yeah.
two questions on
Ashish, you
DI.
want to
Like
say?
Yeah, it was pure DI, and the it was time consuming, but the set was easy. Like
Okay.
you could have a approximate answer. You don't have to make the full table.
Mm-hmm.
Just as an approximation will do fine.
Okay. Okay. Any Venn diagram questions?
No, thankfully, no Venn
No
no,
Venn
diagram.
diagrams.
no
Okay.
Venn
No
diagrams.
Venn diagrams. Okay.
Yeah.
Any cubes
No.
questions? So there is no linear arrangement sort of question.
Linear arrangement was there,
applied.
and yeah,
Applied as in
linear arrangement.
Sahil, can you tell me more?
uh, Applied in the sense means they have made a set, and it's in that set they have given various instructions 1 to 6. In one of the instructions they have given that for example, I'm just making up that he can see this and he can also see this
Okay.
after this.
I know which puzzle you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. 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 And what about this one? Anything on games and tournaments?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was one set
Yeah.
on games and tournaments.
There was one game.
Okay.
There
What was
one
it?
game, which basically included uh, there were like, I don't know, the can't say the question, but there were like boxes which had prizes inside them, and we had to figure out what
As in, I
box
didn't
had.
get you. I mean, like, this is like a knockout or a round robin, or
No, they were like,
it's a mathematical puzzle basically.
yeah.
It's not a games and
Mathematical
tournaments. It's a
puzzle.
mathematical puzzle. So to speak.
Yeah, mixtures and addition, like
Okay. Okay.
basic
That's the
addition.
same thing. Sahil, is he talking about the same question?
Yeah, so,
Okay. So okay. I mean, it's not exactly a games and tournaments. It's more of a mathematical. But again, you want to classify anything on optimization, like maximize this, minimize this, anything which had a lot of cases.
Yeah, there was. I left that puzzle.
Okay.
actually.
Sahil,
I
you wanted to
can't
say?
yes,
talk about
there were puzzles, including there were many, I guess, that there were open sets.
Okay.
There were sets like that you could not solve. They could have been options.
Okay. Okay.
And I told you this. There was one based on quant as well. Quant
Okay.
section.
Ashish, you would like to tell us which
Yes,
one was a quant based one?
quant based. They were there
Mhm.
mostly in DI. They were there, and I would say more cases questions were there, and very few direct questions were there. Like lots of teaser questions were there, and like few sets very like had cases. Like every question you have to make new cases, you have to do optimization.
Hmm. So versus last year's paper, you guys found it easier or tougher? I mean, not because you did prepared a little bit more concentrated, but did you guys find it easier or what was?
Easier.
What about you, Sahil? Easier.
Yeah, so easier.
Satya?
On the same,
It was pretty
not
much.
very much.
How much did you guys how much do you guys usually get in LRDI, and how many did you attempt this time around?
I generally manage around 80 to 85 marks in LRDI in mocks.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I attempted convincingly 6 sets.
Okay.
And there was one there was a 7 set I could figure out a hint of one question, and then there was no time. So
Okay.
actually, from the beginning, I focused on my game plan was to convincingly do 6 sets, which was like standard,
Okay. Okay.
and rest like
Okay. Sahil?
I've done 4 sets,
Okay.
complete test.
And Ashish?
I have done 3 sets.
Okay. Yeah, 3+ I think will still be. I mean, eventually it'll end up being 2.5, 3 will be, and anyways the cutoff.
Yeah.
And I mean, because there are a lot of errors anyways, which creep up in people's time. Okay, let's go to the maths section. Any surprises in maths? I mean, there are a lot of people who, I mean, at least I personally thought that maths might be to compensate for a slightly difficult VA. Maths might become a little tougher. How was maths this year?
again.
Let's start with Ashish first.
Sure.
Okay.
Much easier than last year, and lots of arithmetic questions, algebra questions. Uh, there were lots of variables involved in the algebra, but I would say the difficulty wise, it was easier, and no PNC questions. Uh, or maybe I hadn't. I just read
That's okay. That's
few
particular. There is
lines and I
nothing
didn't
wrong with it.
paid much
Yeah.
attention because I am not much
Okay. Okay.
good at it. And yeah, overall, I performed the strategy advised by you. 6 questions, 10 minutes,
Okay.
and I started from question number 83. And the questions grouped together in the end were much easier than the questions grouped together
It's
in the
always
strategy.
usually case. Okay.
So that worked really well for me.
Okay. Okay. Just one thing. There was a lot of problem when the mock test was a slightly different pattern. Like there was 34, 28, and 30, 38, right? How many questions were actually there in the three?
34th.
34,
34.
32,
Yeah.
34, right? The standard
34,
one.
32, 34. Yeah.
Sahil, any particular thing which you'd like to tell me about in terms of geometry or any particular question type which you guys found out?
Hello.
Hello, Sahil.
Yeah, it got disconnected.
Yeah. So any particular question type which you thought was different than normal?
No, there was nothing of very surprising.
Okay. Okay.
It was just like if you have practiced that part, you can get it. Just I found that from my practice level, it was little tidbit calculation based. Few
Okay.
and few ways, few of those were very straightforward.
Okay. Okay. Satyajit, any
Yeah,
particular?
like if you compare like the last 4 years, I'd rank it like 2017, then 19, then 16, then 18.
Okay.
18 being the highest, like the most
Most difficult.
difficult
So
paper.
basically, it is easier than difficult than 17, but easier than
17,
8.
yeah, definitely. It
Okay.
was
So,
simple.
okay.
Like, yeah.
So let's try to predict it. I know it's a very bad thing to actually predict it. Is how much do you think will be the cutoffs? Say, for
uh,
example, I mean, we will have Rajesh in the evening who will probably
Rajesh
correct
sir will,
everything
yeah.
else. Yeah, but let's try to figure out like from your part and let's see what he says. So in VA, usually you have 70 odd marks for 99 percentile in VA. How much do you think will be 99 this time around? Compared to what you normally get, how much do you think will be 99%?
62 to 65 marks should be 99 percentile.
So 15 mark drop.
62 to 67 marks.
Okay.
Yeah,
So about a 10 mark drop. Sahil,
should be.
you want to
Should be.
guess?
I don't know.
I would say the same, but
No, not 10 marks, 5 mark drop.
but
Okay.
after seeing last year performance of guys, I think it will be the same.
Oh,
People
it will
say
be the
it's
same.
difficult, but there are people who scored like anything.
Ashish?
I would say cutoff will decrease slight bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it should 60 to 65.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about LRDI? Last year, LRDI 99 percentile was about 46, 47. What do you think it will be? Ashish.
I think it will increase because it compared to last year, it was more
Mm-hmm.
easier
Mm-hmm.
and it was time consuming but easier.
Okay.
So maybe 3-4 marks more.
Okay. What about you, Sahil? What do you
It's the
think?
same. It will increase slightly, not very much,
Okay.
but it will 99 percentile will increase. But the
Satya?
general cutoff will not very much.
Yeah.
I
LRDI.
what was the
LRDI.
question again?
LRDI, what will be the
Okay,
cutoff?
LRDI. I don't think it should increase. I think it should stay the same range
Okay.
that was last year.
Okay.
It was pretty much the same.
Okay.
I found it similar.
And QA?
I shouldn't think QA should decrease. Sorry, QA should increase definitely because the difficulty level was not as last year.
Okay.
QA was easier this time,
Okay.
so cutoff should increase.
What about you, Sahil?
So
And
I think it will be
Rajesh
of
will tell
almost
you.
the same format, +3 +5 maximum.
Ashish?
Yeah, same. Two,
Okay.
three question
So
difference.
basically, we are looking at VA being slightly difficult, LRDI cutoff roughly remaining the same, maybe a slight increase because it's easier, and QA definitely will increase because so roughly the same as last year's cutoff.
99 percentile
Uh,
always the score like this.
No.
Yeah.
2017, the score was about 15 marks extra because of the very easy QA section. So that is the yeah.
QA was
2017 QA was really laddu sort of QA.
yeah.
So
QA
and
was
usually what we
really-
see is that, I mean, this is my personal experience, is that when VA becomes tougher, the cutoffs actually drop. But again, you don't know. Because it's not very easy to make up what you lose in VA with the other sections. But let's see. Okay, I will let you guys go. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. It was for the second round.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Sure, sir, it
Yeah.
was a pleasure.
Enjoy
welcome,
your
sir.
time, and
Yeah.
I'll speak to you soon. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'll be
Yeah.
on the screen.